I'm Chebz, and today I'm going to be diving back into the past and redrawing some of my old artwork, while also explaining my thoughts on each individual piece. Now, we're going to be doing 3 pieces in this video, so I don't want to drag it along any further. Let's do this. So the first one I'm starting with is this one. It's just a cute girl sitting on nothingness. But what mainly drove me into picking this one was the fact that she had big hair, and yeah, if you've seen some of my drawings recently, you'll see I really like drawing big hair. So yeah, that's why I kind of gravitated towards this one, and yeah. I also changed her pose a bit. She's kinda squatting. You'll see I instead made her lean against a soda box, just because the little bubbles on her tracksuit thing reminded me of soda, so I decided to make her sit on a soda box. I also scattered some soda cans around. So yeah, I'm just finishing up the sketch here and moving on to colors. So one thing I really like about my current the way I paint these days is I'm a lot better at painting dark skin tones. I noticed in the original that her skin was looking a bit blue, like almost green like, which doesn't look that nice, so I changed that. In fact, you'll see a lot of the colors will just kind of boost the saturation a bit more. I just think it makes it look a little bit more interesting. I do tend to sometimes over saturate some stuff, but I don't know, it's just something I like to do. So I also notice, like especially in the background, I'll color it in a really deep, well, not that deep, but a deep orange kind of color. Um, and I quite like that. It reminds me of, you know, orange soda or something like that. So yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. And so now I'm just cleaning some stuff up. I'm tidying up my lines and stuff like that, adding shading, and yeah, just cleaning up the painting in general. You'll see me adding in the bubbles to her pants. And yeah, the cleanup process isn't the funnest to watch, but it's very satisfying in the end because you get to see it all cleaned up and neat. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done with this one. So there she is. She doesn't. I don't think she has a name. Maybe I gave her a name, but I don't remember it. But yeah. Now, this next one is also food based. It's a anime looking cherry girl. So I started the way I always do, which is with a sketch. The sketch in this one actually gave me a bit of a hard time, uh, especially with the face. I just couldn't get it the way I wanted for a bit. She just kept looking like a weird, having like a weird baby face to her, I guess. So yeah, you see me play around with it a lot, so it might look a bit iffy at first, but I eventually sorted it out in the end.
Hello there.
I also gave her some poofy hair, even though I don't think she had poofy hair in the original, but yeah, I just felt like it, I guess. And I added some red bubbles in her hair to represent the cherries that she had. But later on you'll see me add actual cherries in her hair. Speaking of cherries, I also gave her one big cherry to hold in her hand, as well as some smaller ones in the background. So yeah, you see me add those in. Now for the outfit, you see I mostly stuck to the original design. The only major change I did was I changed her pants into a denim skirt. I just wasn't liking the baggy pants. I just thought it looked, yeah, funny. And I also gave her some cute sandal pump things to go with her skirt. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I'm moving on to the colors, and as you can see, I gave her like a next red kind of skin tone to go with the cherry theme. So yeah, you see me add a lot of red tones, especially to her face. The colors are pretty much the same, although just a bit more saturated, and yeah. yeah, that's pretty much it for her. I quite like how she turned out. She kind of looks like she's doing a commercial advertisement of some kind. I think she turned out really nice. Now, this next one is not food related. Well, unless there's someone out there who eats tigers, which, how dare you? So, it's this ninja tiger girl. I think she's a ninja, I don't know. So, I tried out a couple of different ideas here. I knew I wanted to include an actual tiger. So, I tried drawing her just kind of riding on the back of a tiger, as you saw in the first couple of seconds. But I didn't like that much. So I was like, hey, what if I drew the tiger jumping midair while she's on top of it? And I quite like that idea. But I then realized that I don't quite know how to draw tigers. So I struggled with this one. I struggled with this tiger for a long time. Oh, and you also see that I scattered a bunch of umbrellas all over the place. Just because in the original, you can see I was holding one. So I was just like, how do I incorporate this into it? So I just threw them all over the place. It's kind of like, you know how in Japan they have, like lantern festivals, except this one isn't a lantern festival, it's an umbrella festival, I guess. But yeah. Now, going back to this tiger, as you can see, I'm really struggling with it. It just kept looking like more like a bear than a tiger. I think it was because I was making the limbs and everything too fat and wide. So yeah, just giving me a bit of trouble. So then I tried adding in some stripes to see if that would help make it look more tiger-like. But that didn't really help that much. So then I decided to lighten my sketch and just go over top of everything to try and correct some stuff. But yeah, it was still looking a bit off. As you can see, yeah, the head was very out of proportion with the body, so it was looking quite off. And I also changed the girl's pose. She's kind of looking up into the sky, just looks a bit more interesting. As you can see, I just totally erased the head and started from scratch. And this time I tilted the angle of the tiger's head to look more towards the camera. Yeah, as you can see, it looks a bit better now. Also made it look like the tiger was smiling a bit. I just thought it added a bit more personality to it. And yeah, I'm just fixing up some of the legs. You can see it it looks, I would look at that and think it looks like a tiger. It's obviously quite stylized, but I think it turned out alright. I'm just adding in the rest of the stripes to the tiger, just cleaning some stuff up. And yeah, moving on to the colors. So I started with a nice orange kind of base for the tiger, just so I could color on top of it later on. And I added the white patches like on her belly and face, make it look more like a tiger. And I also colored the girl in, of course. I like how it went from trying to do a character design thing to just trying to figure out how to draw tigers. Because yeah, it seems like the tiger is now just the main focus of this illustration. But yeah. So now I'm just adding in the little details and stuff like that, cleaning up my sketch and painting over top of everything. To be honest, I think this piece has to be my favorite out of them all. Just because, I tried something different. I didn't just do the same old boring stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, if you want to see all these illustrations for yourself, you can head over to my Instagram, which I have linked in the description of this video. So yeah, feel free to check them out. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you some other time. Bye.